Hey, it's BT with the BT Buraham Thai GP. Let's get right to it. I don't have enough superlatives to describe the racing we saw this weekend at MotoGP. Let me tell you something. If you're going to try to turn a friend on to MotoGP, that's the race to show them. That racing was great. Let's just get right to it. Moto3, listen, I know you guys get tired, but listen, you look at me the way Billy did Prince and Purple Rain. Like, look, kid, no one gets into Moto3 but you. Well, you're going to hear me out. First of all, that race is going to come down, hopefully to Valencia. We don't know. Listen, there's 4 guys in contention for the championship. Actually 4, maybe 5. Jamie Masia is at 225. He's got a 25-point lead over Sasaki and Alonso. Outside chance, maybe Anchu. Hachu, God bless you. He still can win it, but he's got to run the table and get help. And heartbreak goes to Sasaki. That wasn't his fault. The kid, it was a bike malfunction, and I feel bad for him. Hey, that's just racing. But his ride of the race goes with his teammate, Colin Vierge. Props to him. That was a long time coming. Props to him. A great ride. And what that Dutchman has to do is the next race, he's going to have to get in Jamie Massia's way, stick to his tire. Like my wrestling coach, like my football coach, you say, hey, if he goes to the bathroom, go with him. I know it sounds weird now. But if he says to go to the bathroom, you go with him. And that's what he has to do. During that race, the Dutchman, he's feeling himself. Wherever Masia goes, he's got to go block past him and help Sasaki out. Those two have to work in tandem for him to win this championship. He's going to need help. And like I said before, he's got the best teammate in all of racing. That's Colin Vierge. Even with MotoGP, he's got the best teammate. Sasaki has to do it. Crazy Boy has to be el loco, el niño, el loco. It's for the championship. He's got to do what he's got to do. It's great racing. I tell you, David Alonso, watch for him. David Alcalgado, did I give him enough credit? In Australia when he crashed and he had blood in his helmet and he took his helmet off and he was cut like a boxer and he put his helmet on and you could tell he was a little shook up and he still came back and did what he had to do. Same way with this race. Delgado is just tougher than people give him credit for. I want this championship to go to Valencia. We'll see if it does. Moto2, listen, people talk bad about Pedro Acosta and why? He's the future. You want him to be the future. You want him to be the future. Why wouldn't you want him to be? He's coming up. He knows, and this kid gets it. He knows, like he said, the people that want to see good racing, they want to rivalries, and they want to see showbody. And that's what I bring. Right? And listen, I know who said this, and this is towards you personally. You said he had no lips. That was just mean, man. There's no reason to say that about the dude. He has no lips. Say that you just don't like him because he's cocky or whatever, but don't say he ain't got no lips, because that's not very nice. Anyway, Pedro couldn't close it out. Props to Fermin Aldeguer for doing what he was actually the Pedro before Pedro, remember? And then for some reason, I don't know, maybe he had a girlfriend, he discovered porn, I don't know. But he didn't do what he had to do. And MotoGP talk of him subsided, which is a big word for me, subsided. But now he's getting to a late race rhythm, and he could play a difference in this championship because he's got no dog in this fight. Bascagura, they have no dog in the fight. They're the only ones on that chassis. He and Alonso are the only ones on that chassis. So they don't give a damn about the championship. So they're going to be dangerous. They're going to get in somebody's way. Props to Tony Arbolino for doing what he had to do and extend this championship for one more week. Route of the race goes to Ayogura. He went from 17th to 4th or 5th. Props to 4th, I think it was. Props to him. And yeah, 4. And also, heartbreak goes to Canet. Canet, that was pretty nasty, but Canet, you saw what he jumped. He had a double long lap penalty. Here's what I want. I want Pedro to win it in Sepang, and then I want to see what Canet does if he wins the race. I don't know if he's going to do a Chippendale dance because he's got the little bow tie. I don't know, he's going to beat somebody up on live TV. I don't know what he's going to do. I just want to sacrifice a goat. Who knows? But I want to see what he does because Aaron Canet deserves a win, but I want to see Pedro Acosta win because he knows what the people want. They want rivalries like Rossi and Lorenzo. So I want him to win. I love Pedro Acosta. I don't care if anybody says I love Pedro Acosta. He is the future. I want him to be the future. But coming up, you got a great onslaught of riders in Moto3 coming up and also Moto2. Anyway, let's get to MotoGP. Listen, what I say about the Pecco dope, all right? Pecco had a horrible start in the sprint race. He was pissed off. And what did he do? He came back. And what he did in that race, that outside pass he did, and Matt Burt wasn't lying. That was probably one of the greatest passes in MotoGP history. Rossi 2009 on Lorenzo. And what Pecco did, hey, ain't no denying who the man is. The Pekka Dope. You think he's done. He's like any champion. You got him on the ropes, and what he did, he comes back with a vicious right and a vicious left, and that's what Pecco did. But props, my ride of the race goes to Jorge Martin. It wasn't going to go to Inaya Bastianini because he started dead last, and what Bastianini did was incredible, but it was too much, too little, too late to try again with you. But what Martin did was astronomical. Listen, Brad exceeding track limits again, Bender. It could have really thrown a monkey wrench in their plans because he had nothing to lose. He's not going to win the championship, and he could have, but you know what? He played it right, and he raced him hard, and he raced him pretty much. They all raced clean. Props to those guys. But Martin to sustain that pressure. And speaking of pressure, I don't know if you guys realize this, but Jorge Martin got busted for the wrong tire pressure, right? He got a warning this time. Next time, he's going to be docked 3 seconds. That's a big deal. Two things. That's a big deal. If he's, and by the way, Aleix Espargaro was docked 3 seconds when he got demoted from to 8th place. So Marquez got bumped up to 6th. And so if Martin gets caught and they're going to Sepang, right? It's humid. And again, for some reason, this report about this Martin struggles physically with high humidity, right? India, remember he was devastated in India. He was all like, he was loopy. He was like he was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He was like, I need some water. I need some bananas. I mean, honestly, I don't know what it is with him. Maybe it's hereditary. I have bad hamstrings. Maybe he can't deal with the humidity, which is weird, but that's his body. I don't know if he's sipping water. Maybe he drinks. Maybe he's an alcoholic. Who knows during the week? And he gets dehydrated. Who knows? But he struggles physically with humidity. And so I don't know what it is, but hey, listen, one of your best friends is Aleix Espargaro. He's one of the greatest physical specimens in MotoGP. Talk to him. Do what you got to do to get rid of that dehydration, man, and get hydrated. Anyway, he's my rider of the race, Jorge Martin. It should go to Naya Bastianini, but Jorge Martin is sustained that pressure, and like I said, but he's poking the champ, and the champ comes back. There's a reason why Pecco's the champ. If Jorge Martin talks shit like, hey, Pecco is scared. Don't say that, man. Keep your mouth shut. Look what happened to Rossi in 2015. Uh-oh. Did I just say that? Look what happened to Rossi in 2015. So, Pecco needs to, Martin needs to shut his mouth. Just go about your business, bro. Just go about your, forget all these head games and get in a press conference, say whatever. Just put your head down and do the work, and then you win the race. Because Pecco shuts his mouth, and Pecco's more prickly than people give him credit for, but he does the work. So, listen, we have a great championship. And I'm going to ask you guys this question, okay? The racing was so great in MotoGP, but here's the thing with MotoGP is, unless you're like Marquez, we don't really have any marketable stars, okay? Pecco's great, but Pecco's he's great as a champion. Just physical racer, he's great. Jorge Martin is great, but they don't have that personality that makes you watch, or do they? Are you watching for the personality, like with Rossi and all the Rossi fans left, or are you watching for the actual racing? Marquez is great, but Marquez is getting a little older. He's 30. He still has that great bubbly personality, an awesome laugh, but he's 30, man. Don't get me wrong. When you're 30, everything gets a little bit older. It's like, hey, man, I'm sick of these goddamn press conferences. He still signs autographs, but it's got to be sometimes he goes, listen, I'm not taking pictures with your little big-headed bastard, okay? I got to go in this and try not to get killed by this Honda, okay? So he's maybe getting a little tired of it. So, are you watching for the racing or the personality? I watch for the racing, but if you guys do, and it's okay if you don't, and that's why I say Pedro coming up is going to be great, because Pedro gets it, okay? So anyway, like I said, that pass is one of the greatest passes in MotoGP history. If Lewis Hamilton raced MotoGP, he'd be like, that's dangerous, man. And I think that pass, that was dangerous, man. One of the greatest passes in MotoGP history. Folks, I got no more superlatives. That was what I want to get off my chest. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. The big dogs have come out to eat. And that's the truth, and that's what we want. We want the big dog to show up, and the big dogs have shown up. But Zeki, I think, is a little bit too far out. By the way, Luca Marini. No one gives Marini the credit. Marini is second best teammate next to Colin Vierge. Luca Marini is great on his own. Now, personally, if that was me, I would have put up a board that said, hey, man, let Bezzecchi through. Marini has to win, but at that point, I would have waved Bezzecchi through and told Marini to step over, step aside, let the man go through, and that's what he should have done. That's just me though. Mapping 8, as Ducati said back in 2000, whatever. Anyway, great racing, great passive all time. And also, Jorge Martin, he's got the bit between his teeth, but that was weird, wasn't it? But it's Halloween, so I guess the ghost got sick of me talking, so I guess that's cue for me to end it. Anyway, yeah, give me what your thoughts are. Are you interested in the racing or the personality? Do the personalities make a difference? Or are you just interested in straight racing? There are no wrong answers, all right? So I'm asking you guys, I'm going to try to be more proactive. So, yeah, is it the racing or do you like the personalities that come along with it? Personally, I like them both, but just give me the good racing, man. And that was great racing. Props to Pecco with the Peccadope and that great-ass pass. That was dangerous, man. And props to Brad, exceeding track limits bender. He could have went dirty, but he didn't. Great racing, MotoGP. We moved on to Sepang. Hopefully this goes down to Valencia. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's it. Until then, you know the word. Bye.